Welcome to Deepnight Revelation. We're going to be picking up where we left off last week. These guys have found a planet known as what was the name of this place? Lucky Find. That's right. Lucky Find was a Tenepal colony, and they requested the assistance of Revelation to come out here because Revelation could make it in like one jump. And they could come out here and find out why the Tenepal have not heard back from their colony in quite some time. And in the course of this jump, they also started doing diplomatic talks between the Tenepal and the delegation from the Ernli worlds, and that seems to be actually going pretty well. When they got here, they also made the contact with the Ernli, or with the Sovereigndoms. Technically the Sovereigndom-of-Ernli, and discovered that they are really pompous jerks, just like the Tenepal said. And the Sovereigndoms accused them of throwing a rock at the colony, and they have discovered that the world has a dust cloud in the atmosphere. The planet is going to be going through a nuclear winter for at least the next decade, and they've now done a flyby after being attacked by some robotic drones in wreckage of the colony's few ships that were in orbit. These drones attacked them, and they found them to be curiously very similar to the shape of the Ernli and some of their drones, and so questions are to be had. But Jack, Randolph, and Bocephus, and likely Pappy, although we'll ask him when he gets here, have gone down towards the surface of the planet in the Destin X, their scout ship, and they have picked up some radio signals, signal GKs and SOS, denoting that there are some survivors down here, and so they are going to go down and try to render what assistance they can. Meanwhile, Sarta is up on Deepnight Revelation, and the Sovereigndoms are in the process of docking with Revelation. This is probably one of the few times where splitting the party will actually work out, because there are two sides of this that can be adequately dealt with all at the same time. So
I find games where you're in constant radio contact don't make the splitting the party as
that's not as bad. No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. If you split the party in our Saturday game, which is old school essential.
Yeah, that's boned. Just nuts.
Yeah. You could. Now, my home game, not so much, because I've got like 9 players, so splitting the party's not really that big of a deal.
Well,
but your standard 6-person party, you split it into 2 groups of 3, and now they're really screwed.
So, some groups they'll use like Discord to do some role play between sessions. You could do breakout group type stuff that way, and not have to deal with it in person. But
so I will extend the offer to you guys. I don't have a date as of yet, because I'm still in the planning stages, but my Wednesday night group is going to do a one-off, just kind of a palate cleanser. We're going to do a Paranoia one-off. And if you don't know about Paranoia, it is a game of complete ridiculousness. And
I was a little disappointed with the most recent edition.
I don't know. Some of it, well, I don't know. It is still pretty funny, though. But,
yeah.
So yeah, it is completely absurd. And, high body count, and including your own characters, which is why you all have 6 clones. So anybody that wants to play, once that, just go ahead and shoot me a message on Facebook, and we can get you set up with that. And we're just going to do pre-generated characters, because, quite honestly, it doesn't matter. I honestly don't think that I can do a Paranoia campaign. It's so out there that I just don't know that I could do it.
Big Borrow or Steal some really cool like post-apocalypse random die. So you're like crap found in a post-apocalyptic setting,
right?
And salvages. You can just roll a D100 and see what Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that really adds to those campaigns where just the random shit you find and somehow becomes critical to the campaign because
Right.
by golly, we're going to make that stop sign do everything for us.
Yes, right. Yes. Well, the one that I was reading that I found really funny is how none of the bots they don't have the ability to manufacture new bot brains, and so you might be flying somewhere, and the aircraft, of course, is robot controlled, and it might disquiet you to find out that previously the brain in this plane that you're flying in was like a kitchen cleaning bot, and then that gave up, and so they took it out of there and scrubbed it, and then it was a dump truck bot, and it got scrubbed, and now it's flying your plane.
I think my love for paranoia is kind of what attracted me to Pathfinder Society, because the setup of almost all their adventures that they would run were very much like a paranoia setup, where you're brought into a conference room, you're explained the job that they want you to do.
Right.
You get out in the field, and it's nothing like you were told.
Yes.
You know, and so the only thing it lacked was it did not have the actual.
Friend computer.
No, after the aftermath where you have to
debrief.
actually
Yeah.
the debrief. There's never a debrief on it. And I always felt that could have really made some of those scenarios a lot more fun to actually do the debriefing as well.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, anybody that wants to play in the paranoia game, we will be playing that on a Wednesday night. I anticipate it'll probably be between 1 and 4 sessions. It really depends on how murderous the group gets with killing each other, and because that always ends up leading to sidetracks. So I don't know. I'm anticipating 1 to 4 sessions, somewhere in that range.
Well, we can kill each other pretty good.
Oh yeah. You guys will have
sometimes without trying.
Sometimes without trying, right? Yes. And don't forget, there's a section on the character sheet where you can write down blackmail and evidence of other people's traitorous activities to justify you killing them. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, anybody wants to play, shoot me a message and we can get you set up with that, and I'll let you know when that's going to happen. Like I said, I'm still in the planning stages. I've got a beginning done, and but I'm going to pick up another book, and I want to flip through that first, because I played one session in like middle school, and I haven't played since. No. All right, so
I've only heard tell of the game, and I did back the latest Kickstarter, but I've never played it.
Yeah. See, I played one game in middle school, and of course, in middle school for role-playing games, everything's got to be super serious. And this game, I was like, this game's ridiculous. I can't play this. And so now that I'm older, I'm like, no, I totally have to play this. And so, yeah, here we go. Hey, Pappy.
What up?
You have the strange choice. So Mel, who is played by Jack, has proven to be... He's proven to be an okay pilot. He's about as good. He's about as big of an insurance risk as a teenage girl with a sports car. Where would you like to be? Would you like to be... The Destinex is going down to the surface of the planet to check out this wiped out colony that got hit by a meteor, because they are receiving distress calls. Or you could still be aboard Deepnight Revelation with Sarta, who is going to be dealing with some diplomatic stuff with the Sovereigndoms as they dock.
I mean, seems like it might be useful to have my pilot skills put to use down there.
Okay.
If we have to do any kind of crazy flying.
Sure. Like I said, Jack actually did a fairly good job. He suffered from some just unlucky rolls, really.
Yeah, I mean, well then, is there any reason for me to stay on the ship, really?
No, not unless you want to involve yourself with Sarta and hear these Sovereigndoms guys out.
No?
It's probably gonna be diplomatic.
Yes.
That doesn't sound like my job. My job is to seduce queens and stuff.
So actually,
it's exactly why we brought you on.
Yes. Yes, right.
there was this giant hole in our personnel.
Right.
It was, where's our queen seducer?
Right. Yes.
It just happened last time. You know, she was there, I was there.
Yes, it's just one of those things.
Well, I can tell you that I can guarantee you I can land this thing.
Yes, that part. Yes, that part.
I can't
walking away from
guarantee
that
that you can
landing.
walk away from it. We will be on the ground.
One way or the other, you'll be on the ground.
You will be on the ground. You may not be alive, but
Interesting.
You know, I was just curious. I mean, what would happen if we were to bring a bunch of ice to try to deal with the amount of the volcanic ash? I'm trying to figure out like how we could. Water's a big issue, and you know, somehow causing anything that could cause rain might help.
That's true. I don't. Yeah.
We'll put our planetologists to task to say, you know, given the resources of Deepnight and what they're going through, are there any solutions to this that we might be able to facilitate?
Okay. Deepnight's guys can definitely. Oh.
Which one has the
Yeah.
worst?
So.
Holy crap!
Yeah. Deepnight's science team is on it. They are working on a plan.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I was trying to I was in my head. I'm envisioning a lot of rain would help pull it out of the air. I mean, obviously, you're then going to have to deal with it all on the ground, and that's a whole other problem. Mudslides and things like that would, you know, flooding and mudslides and things like that.
oh my God, how many players are we getting tonight?
I know, right? This is the
All
best
of
players we've ever had, right?
Yeah. So
And
I don't
there's,
know.
and there's Pappy's small cigar.
Yeah. So we'll see if we can't do something about this.
Happy doesn't need to compensate.
Yeah, he already had the Erline ambassador, so. Or, I mean, not the Erline ambassador, the Tenepal ambassador.
Yeah. How was that?
Furry.
You know, it was what it was.
So, the Sovereigndoms ship docks with Deepnight Revelation, and Sarta, you are. How are you? How are you wanting to meet them? At
I
their
almost expect to see armored drones coming in from that ship right into our dock or our hold.
Do I know anything about their environmental needs? Like, do they, you know, could breathe the same oxygen mix as we do?
Yeah, they're the same as the Erline.
Okay.
They are a mix of the Erline and the Tenepal. So they have both Erline and Tenepal in their.
And since we have interacted with them and been in there, you know, is there like a noticeable humidity difference or anything like that? Like in terms of like setting temperatures for rooms and things like that, if they're going to stay with us any particular time, you know, setting a room or two aside that would be comfortable to them would be, you know, something I'd want to do.
Yeah, the Erline, the world that you went to for the Erline Worlds polity, it was a shirt sleeves environment, very Earth-like. So,
okay, cool. So probably nothing really needs to be done then. Environmental.
No. So I guess more of my question is, how are you? Who are you meeting them with? How are you? I mean, are you bringing a security detail? Are you bringing additional ambassadors?
I don't have the layout of the ship, but if there's if there's a place to hide a security detail that's very close, but not immediately obvious, that would be ideal. I don't want to greet them with the security detail, but I'd sure like that security detail to come running if there's a problem.
Right. So let's see.
But otherwise,
since people are aggressive, I would actually bring the security people behind me.
well, they already think we're super aggressive, right? Because of all the weapons we're backing.
Right.
No, they don't think we're super aggressive.
So they don't think that
they were on our ship. I bet
they don't think that you're super aggressive, but Bocephus, in not so many words, almost these words, basically told them to go F themselves and was ready to blast them into subatomic particles with the spinal mount. But, and the reaction, he didn't, and the reaction to this threatening stance and more or less grandstanding was that their position softened. They didn't. It's not like they backed down, but they see you guys more as equals on the aggressive front.
All right. So with that in mind, where is the airlock?
So
I'm
I
trying
would
to
think
figure
that
out.
it would be this airlock here,
got
since
it.
you're
I was looking on the left.
probably going to want to. I would imagine you're. I don't know. You've got this airlock. And this is on.
Oh, there's a
deck
lot of airlocks.
3. There's deck 2, of course, that has some airlocks. It depends on if you. I mean, of course, they're going to want a brief tour of the ship before you go to any briefing rooms.
Right.
And whatnot. So I don't know.
There's a briefing room reasonably close, and you could put your security in these crew quarters, I would think.
Yeah, I'd like a lot of these airlocks are really close to really dangerous parts of our ship.
Power
plant.
Yeah. I'm going. Okay. This is one power plant. Yeah, fuel and the fuel. Okay, that's bad.
Well, there's airlocks
airlock power
down
plant
here
and,
at the cargo hold.
Right. Yeah. So I'm thinking that seems a lot safer if you have an unknown versus bringing them in next to the missile bays.
Right. Yeah. Fusion barbettes.
Yeah. So I think the cargo bay one's probably going to be the best.
Okay.
And
there's plenty of space around this corner and this corner to kind of have your security detail kind of ducking back.
Yeah. I almost kind of wouldn't mind them actually seeing the security detail through like an open door after the initial greeting so that they don't think that we're just completely show. But yeah, though
Yeah, you could totally do that as well. Why am I... oh, here we go. Because I was in the wrong book.
So yeah, otherwise just me and a couple of or the cap. I don't know if the captain wants to greet them. If the captain wants to greet them, that's great. It's all up to him who goes. But if it's
the captain and the XO are going to remain on the bridge because they are kind of doing the dual task of overseeing both the science team and wanting immediate information on them on how to deal with this nuclear winter. I was going to say,
it's volcanic winter. I think.
Yeah, volcanic winter, whatever. As well as monitoring the progress of your away team down on the planet.
I'm kind of doing the same as I'm Googling cloud seeding and then like what that impact would be, that kind of stuff.
Right. Well, the one, I mean, depending on what this meteorite was made of, right? And it's probably going to have, obviously, a high iron count. But it could have other things, cobalt, other things. One of the things that I would think that from this kind of fallout that could happen if you do cloud seeding is that it's then going to possibly poison the groundwater supply.
Oh, gotcha. That's going to happen regardless.
Right.
The big issue is can we get the ash out of the air as fast as possible? Yeah, they're going to have to deal with the long-term effects of that ash one way or another.
Right.
But my thing was if we can prevent the volcanic winter, the harshness of the volcanic winter, if we can make that a little more easier to ride out, that would be preferable in my mind.
So the security detail are all. I mean, you've got probably 6 security officers. They're all armed with Intel Arm Security 12 shotguns because that's what they would usually use aboard ship.
It's good for close quarters.
Yes, and it's got the Auto 2 trait, which should be nice. And so they take up their positions, and the airlock door opens, cycles through, and finally opens, and out steps the Sovereigndoms. What did we call him? He was the correct point of contact is his name, which, as we've stated before, sounds like something he made up on the spot. He's already told you guys that he is the leader and grand poobah of the Sovereigndom-of-Ernli, and but he has told you that it was very lucky that that you guys met him first, because he is the correct point of contact, and that he speaks for all the Sovereigndoms. And,
perfect.
He comes through with two other Erline individuals that are wearing some peculiar.
It's really convenient. We got the best one first.
Right, yes, right. Yes. How convenient. Yes. It's amazing. Out here in the middle of nowhere, we just happened to meet the president of the universe.
Yeah.
and
awesome.
Flanking him are two other Erline. And you know from meeting the Erline worlds, these guys, I mean, obviously they have shells, so they're not going to wear a whole lot of clothes, but they do have, occasionally they'll have, like, mounts strapped to their arms, upper arms, so that they can carry tools and whatnot. These guys are clearly armed, and they would be kitted out in some kind of security detail manner, but they're just using what you would classify as simply a, it's like a tech level 9 auto pistol. It's nothing magnificent. And then coming in behind those three are 4 Tenepal, and these Tenepal are wearing kind of like a leather tunic kind of thing with a gold braided, almost like a sash across their bodies. They are not armed, but they come behind them. One of them is carrying a case that appears to be like a probably a portable computer with a /attaché case. All of it tech level 9, so their laptops probably weigh a ton compared to what you're used to.
Sure.
And he steps out and greets you, says, "Thank you for having us aboard your ship. I am correct point of contact, and this is my entourage."
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Sarta Waylander of the Deepnight Revelation. Welcome to our ship.
He says, "This is a very fine-looking vessel," and he looks around. Sarta, roll a Recon plus Intellectual.
Yep. Oh, I forgot I had the macro made. Oh, I did not do great. 7.
So you note that the entire delegation, and there's what, 7 of them, 4 Tenepal and 3 Erline. They're all looking around, and I mean you're not you're obviously familiar with their thanks to your ganglion. You're familiar with Tenepal and Erline language.
Right, but not customs at all.
Right, there's a bit of a difference with the Sovereigndoms because they kind of speak a combination of the two languages, so it's kind of like a Spanglish.
Right.
And so you're able to pick up bits and pieces of what they are speaking to one another, but the correct point of contact makes a point of speaking in Erline proper to you. And you notice you're not familiar. You're familiar with the language, but you're not familiar with their mannerisms. And so, the only thing that you can discern is that they are looking around. The Tenepal, being more human-like, they appear to have wide eyes as they're looking at everything. Like they can't quite fathom what they're seeing. Like you guys are used to the fact that simple comm consoles on the wall will have a holographic display. These people come from tech level 9 society, so they've never seen something as simple as an elevator button that has holographic displays. I mean, That's crazy talk. Why would you make, unless you're Elon Musk, why would you make that kind of expenditure? And so they are paying attention to everything around them. And the correct point of context is this is a very, very magnificent vessel. You are truly more powerful than your humble attitude makes you out to be. I would very much like to have a tour of this great vessel.
I'll be happy to guide you on a tour. Can I help with your computer? Do you need the Wi-Fi password, or can I?
He says, "Oh no, my assistants will handle all of that." And
right.
And one of them does have another one of them has something like a tablet that they're kind of jotting down notes on.
Sure.
And the other one with the attaché is following closely behind the three Erline as they wander around the ship. And so
I do kind of want to walk them past an open door where you can, if you look through that door, you might catch the security detail.
Right.
Lounging.
So you're kind of down here, yeah, you kind of come by and
I won't make any. I won't even know. I won't point it out or actually look. I just know that somebody will look through that door and notice it, type thing.
Yeah. So there's like 3 security guards down here that trying their best to act casual.
They're polishing stuff.
Polishing, yes. And there's like another 3 up here. They're securing casually. So what would you like to give them on this map? What would you like to take them for a tour?
I'll just basically say, is there anything in particular you're interested in checking out first? We can. Power plant is up here. I'm not an expert on that. I'm more of an expert myself at sensors and at jump drives. Those are my fields of expertise, but I'm happy to guide you through any area you're specifically interested in.
This seems to be a fabulous combat vessel. We would love to see your weaponry.
Well, honestly, this was a really phenomenal combat vessel. This is actually a demilitarized version of that previous warship.
We will fuck your shit up.
Right? He said, so go ahead. Go ahead and make a diplomat plus social or charm, your choice.
Definitely social. 11.
So this time you see a very similar to reaction, except more exaggerated than when they were first brought on board and realized that you guys have holographic doorknobs, and his crabby eyes get kind of big, and he's like he says, you send out exploration vessels that are this heavily armed? He says, and don't take this the wrong way, we did scan your vessel. We detected that you have some kind of weapon running down the entire central portion of your vessel.
Oh yeah, that's referred to as a weapon spine. Yeah, that tends to make a really big. I'm not an expert on the firing guns. I can definitely get some people that can explain it better. But yeah, that's the spinal mount. They make our ships incredibly lethal. As I said, this initially was designed and built as a warship, and the military decommissioned it and sold it to a private corporation. And so, yes, we're on a very long-term exploration trip that could prove to be very dangerous. We assumed that it would be a 20-year round trip. That's hard to explain. How do you explain 20 years to a foreign?
Right.
I don't know how they do time in Traveler, but I would somehow try to figure it out. And
well, that's a good point. I mean,
it probably has to do with speed of light, right? It's probably.
I have always figured that there is a standard imperial year, and that imperial year is probably based on the year cycle of Vland. And the reason it would be based on Vland is because the Third Imperium is Volani in nature.
Yeah, and humans sort of have that circadian rhythm, so
And so, but it is an interesting point is that when you when you say a year, and you're talking to an alien species that's never met the Third Imperium, and you're way outside the borders, they might be their year might only be, 3 months.
I would think I would have to do it in terms of how long it would take light to get from one point to another.
That would be if you did it
as a more universal method of conversing with time.
Yeah, if you did it in a matter of light years, then that
100 light years.
Yeah, or the amount of time it takes for the light to get to this place to this place. So I'd have to do it based on something like that, where we have this universal constant that everybody agrees on. Hopefully, that are flying fast, flying these types of ships. You would hope that they would agree.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't think that the speed of light would change anyway.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So. So basically, somehow explain how long we think we will be gone, and that we are attempting to cross to the other side of the rift.
He is now, of course, and you would probably already know this. The spinal mount for Deepnight Revelation is, according to its charter, is strictly for scientific purposes. Because that particle beam can be used to excite nebula and atmosphere. Because a spinal mount particle weapon, even though it does massive damage, it's going to diffuse in an atmosphere. It does almost nothing on the ground. I mean, it'll do some damage on the ground, but generally not that much. So, Deep Knight's charter is that it is strictly a scientific tool. But everybody knows it's kind of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We talked the Navy into leaving us with a fully operational spinal mount particle beam cannon.
Sometimes you need to test hull strength.
Right? Yes, of the other race. Right. And so he is gobsmacked that. First of all, in how far it is that, because just by you've basically told him in a manner of both time and space, distance and time, and so he is amazed at the proposition, and he says, and this was funded by a private company.
That's correct.
He just finds that absolutely incredible, and so now he kind of circles back and he says, on second thought, we would very much like to see how your power plant operates. If a ship is capable of traveling that far, it must generate enormous amounts of power.
So I've got I'll pull up my portable computer, which is wristwatch sized.
Right, yeah, your mobile comm on your wrist.
And
you probably have something bigger than that. But.
You're right, but broadcast it to, broadcast it to something he can see.
Right.
And basically give an idea of how far we've traveled to get here. So he can see this is where our trip began. And then I'll show, I personally live this much farther. And so where I'm, just to get that far, so that. Yeah,
and of course, this map will probably show the boundary of the Imperium's charted space, and color designate the different polities. And he's
actually, I probably wouldn't.
No?
In this particular case, I think I would just really, literally, just be the jumps. In terms of the number, the basically the however many jump distances from dot to dot to dot.
Okay.
So that they get an idea of how many jumps we've traveled.
So he is absolutely astonished that you have vessels that are capable of going that far. Now, keep in mind that they are. hold on, I got to make sure of this before I stick my foot in my mouth. So the Tenepal are tech level 9, the Sovereigndoms are tech level 9, and the Erline worlds are tech level 10. And
Oh, nice.
So these, jump 1, they might be starting to futz around with jail 2.
Okay.
Or J2. So, the fact that Revelation can do J4 with a minimum of fuss
Right.
is fabulous.
And that's the stuff Sarta would really get off nerdy about with my rank 4 in jump drive engineering. That's his real expertise. So
go ahead and make another recon plus intellect check.
Skills, inventory, alphabetical will. Oof, not good.
So you're walking and talking as you're coming walking towards the power plant, and or one of the power plants.
These guys are the Augment Raiders of. Yeah. I'm about to get kidnapped here.
No, one of or two of the your security detail comes up behind you and says, "Excuse me, Commander. We found one of the delegation kind of got separated. He was kind of wandering around, and you see that it's one of the Tenepal, and the Tenepal in this." This mix of language says something about he took a wrong turn and was interested in wall displays and noticed that there were several areas of crew quarters, and he was observing some of the crew just doing what crew do. They're just, if they're off duty around their crew quarters, they're probably carousing and whatnot, and he was
sure
kind of
card games and whatnot.
That.
Yeah, like I say, I understand. Happy to show you guys whatever areas you might be interested in. So we'll just So I'm giving them a tour.
Okay.
If we can jump to their guys, I don't want to.
Well, you guys are doing well. You are up there doing that. Pappy, go ahead and make a piloting plus X check.
Piloting plus dex, you say?
Yeah.
Going into that volcanic ash is always great for the intakes.
Well, yeah, right. There's that too. Yeah, and you are at -2.
Okay, piloting dex -2. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So,
of course, I rolled like shit that time.
Well, not as bad as it could have been. So, Pappy is.
I'm gonna be sick, Pappy.
You guys are coming through this volcanic ash.
I think he did better than that. I mean, it's somehow giving him a -2. Are you?
I think I was supposed to use piloting starship, not piloting because my piloting dex.
Correct.
Yeah, because it looks like it was penalizing you for not being proficient in the skill.
Right. It's.
Oof! How'd it get worse?
How was it worse that time?
GD6.
I rolled a 2 and a 1 that time. I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Yeah, when you look at your character sheet,
-3.
So when you look at your character sheet, there's a little box that needs to be checked. It'll be red, but it needs to be checked in green to say that you're proficient in the skill.
It's green.
Oh, I see what it's saying. Yeah, it says 6. Yeah, 2 + 1 + 3 -2 is 4.
Yeah, I'm just curious how it's getting the -2 penalty.
Because
he told me to take off 2.
Yeah, I told him.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I told him put in a -2. So
I'm an idiot.
Oh, so the first roll was
I'm an idiot.
higher.
So
that's a 5.
We all are, sort of.
I should have added. We'll go with 7. That's what we'll do. We'll go with 7.
So
yeah.
So Mel is
I have a broken arm there, Pappy.
Mel is sitting in the co-pilot's chair, and Pappy is bringing the the scout ship down through this heavy, heavy cloud cover, and everybody can hear. I mean, it's obviously not really clouds. You can hear uh, occasionally, like tinkles as they hit the hull. This is a fine rocky particulate, and I mean you can't see 2 meters in front of the nose of the scout ship, and then when you do finally break through this volcanic ash layer, you are actually way close to the ground, and Pappy clips one of the wings as he's coming in, dealing a whole terrifying 1 point of hull damage to the Desinex. And he sets down, and there is a notice. He kind of skids to a stop on the landing gear, and there is a noticeable crunch on the back port side. The aft port side landing gear kind of gets a crunch in it. Sounds like a hydraulics problem.
Well, shit, I could have.
And Randolph, you see, the engineering board starts to light up, and there's the aft port landing gear. There's a blown hydraulic seal, and the lifter is out on that particular landing gear.
So we're gonna have a hard time landing on the way back.
Or might need to rig it.
Yeah, I
Captain's gonna
don't
say all
have
the
the skill to
foreign
fix
profanities
that.
he knows as he goes outside to look at the ship.
So yeah, I mean, you guys see looking out the viewports, you can see that you are surrounded by smoke and still some burning fires still, and just complete and total devastation. What used to be a small colony has been turned into a crater, and it also should be noted that it's not really just one crater. So this meteor strike, when it came in, that thing broke up and caused kind of like a shotgun effect. But Mel, Bocephus, Randolph, and Pappy, you can all roll a recon plus intellect.
I have no intellect.
7.
Mel got a 7. Pappy got a 9.
Same.
I rolled a 6 and a 1. But I got a plus 2.
4.
So, Pappy, you note when you were coming in and skipping the ship off of various objects. And you did see as you broke through the cloud layer that there were other meteor strikes. And you know this from the sensors that were taken of the planet as well. But in your mind, I mean, if this was a meteor strike, I mean, what are the odds that it would lay this amount of firepower on just this colony? I mean, it looks like it was aimed.
Oh, it most certainly was.
Targeted meteor strike, huh?
The belief that it wasn't is pretty slim.
It's not hard to do, right? You just find a meteorite and get an engine strapped to it,
or use a railgun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got a damaged ship. What are you guys doing?
Well, we need to get somebody that has the mechanic skill or whatever to get to, check out our aft port lander and do that. And I want to do up in my hazard suit. Excuse me, and go look for survivors.
Okay, so you're gearing up in your hazard suit. What kind of gear are you taking?
Oh, I'm just coming lightly armed with like a gauze sniper rifle, a gauze pistol, a medical kit.
Okay. Perfect.
I have mechanic.
And an incendiary grenade.
Okay. Yeah, because things aren't on fire enough.
Well, if I find a mold something, I'm throwing a. We still haven't cleared this place of mold contaminants, and so I want to be able to burn.
So Randolph has mechanic. You got some engineering skills, right, Randolph?
Almost all of them.
Good. Perfect. So Randolph, you're going to be checking out the damage. Pappy, what are you doing?
I'll go look at the damage, but I'm gonna leave it to the more inclined people to do what they got to do.
All right. What about Mel?
Well, I have M drive engineering, so
that-
I don't
so-
think it really
so-
works for
So well, M drive.
landing gear.
So engineering M drive. What level do you have it at?
1.
Okay. So the way skills work is that if you have, let's say that you had engineering 0, as soon as you get enough XP points, or however you're doing it, and there's other ways of doing it, but let's say you have enough XP points to get that 1, and you put yours into engineering M drive 1. That means you're specialized in M drive, but all of the other engineering skills are still at 0.
Okay.
So you're at least competent in engineering stuff, but you're really good at M drive.
So I probably can't fuck it up worse than it already is. Okay.
I rolled a 10.
Okay, so yeah, Randolph, you what skills were you using?
Mechanical engineering.
Okay, so mechanical, you go through, and this one one side of the ship's kind of sitting lower than the other one, and so yeah, you get out a bottle jack essentially, and break out the mechanical and engineering toolkits, and you jack this thing up. You've got Mel kind of helping you out. Pappy's standing around smoking his
Gee, I
cigar.
actually have a mechanical toolkit.
Yeah, and so you use a bottle jack and kind of get the weight less on this this poor landing strut. And so the first part of this is, of course, going to be about fixing this this hydraulic seal. So that's what you are doing. Cephas.
Yeah, if it'd be okay, as when I get all suited up and I'm headed out, I just want to go ahead and do a psionic life detection.
Okay. Well, that. And Pappy, you can make a Recon plus intellect check.
Make a recon plus what?
Intellect.
Okay. Recon plus intellect. Oh, bam!
Nice.
All right, so I got a 9 on a difficulty 4.
So you do detect some multiple life. Not here. Let me pull up that psionic ability.
On page 230, right under telepathy.
Yes. So, yeah, these are intelligent minds, which sounds like a Thursday night NBC show.
Right. Well,
This season
yeah.
on Intelligent Minds.
So I want to pick out the closest one and start headed that way.
Okay, yeah. Some of these minds that you are detecting are flickering and weak.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you get that life detection for about 20 seconds. But Pappy, over here, in this wreckage of a burning building, you see You thought you saw some movement.
All right, I see some movement over this way. Who coming with me?
Well, these two are working on repairing the ship. So I guess Josephus.
Yeah, I'll go with you. I am the medic, doctor, ship's counselor.
That is in the direction of some of these
And DNA expert.
Yeah.
Some of the DNA. Yes, there's that. This is actually in the direction of some of these life signals. You are detecting 4.
Josephus is like, we can save you. They're like, really? You can save us? Well, your DNA.
Yes.
Well,
You won't
really,
go
I'm
extinct.
Maybe I can go
as we're headed that way. I'll look over at Pappy and I'll be like,
Sort of
I
the same.
hope some of these are really fucked up, man. I would sure like to try to put some cybernetics on one of these guys. You know, just really upgrade half their torso. Would be some fun shit.
What are your thoughts on treads?
Well,
Yeah.
maybe put a second ass on one of them. You know.
What are your thoughts on tank treads?
Yeah.
That's a monkey with 2 asses. What's that? It's a piece of cheese with some chalk and some string. Hey, I remember that episode. I'm like, what the fuck? Out of the wreckage of this building, excuse me, my eye twitches out on me. Climbing out of this wreckage, you see one of these drones, and it is looking right at you.
Coming right for us.
Right.
Oh yeah, we're shooting at it. Oh, well, I will. You don't have to. You can watch. But I hope you'd help me kill this thing.
Should I suspect that this drone is hostile?
Yeah.
The last ones were.
Yeah, they were very hostile. Let's do this.
All right,
We're in trouble if
Bang,
that's
bang.
one of those ones that was in space, because we had to use ship lasers to kill it.
Boo. Throw everybody up on that.
Are
I
we
don't
doing
remember how
the?
combat works.
We're doing the initiative, right?
Yes, so everybody can roll 2d6 plus either your dexterity or your intellect. And you should be able
Well,
to
I know
pop
which
it
way
in.
I'm gonna go.
You should be able to pop that right into your character on the turn order.
Wait, where the fuck is my guy on this thing?
I have neither,
There.
but I still roll a 9. I have neither intellect nor dexterity, but I still rolled a 9.
But hey, I mean, sometimes you just get...
Holy balls, that is bad.
Alright.
I could not have rolled any lower, so.
I mean, I could have rolled the intellect. It's the same modifier, though.
Alright. When in doubt, use alphabetical. So, Randolph...
I'd really rather roll really crappy on my initiative than.
Yeah.
Your attack roll. I know, right? That's what my wife always says. She's like, I don't care about initiative. As long as they get nat 20s on my hit, so, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Randolph, nothing's really happened yet. I don't know if these guys are communicating that there is hostiles inbound.
I'm working on the hydraulic leak.
Yeah, go ahead and make a mechanic plus intellect or education check.
I have neither education or intellect,
Ooh.
but I still roll a 12.
Wow. So Mel's
Rather be
probably
lucky than good.
I mean, he takes this hydraulic apart like he's an autistic kid with a Rubik's cube. He just takes this thing apart and it's apart and he's already lubing it up, put it back together, and getting ready to recharge the hydraulics, and it's about ready to go. Mel, you can, of course, if you'd like, you can start working on the lifter. It appears
Okay.
that Randolph's got the hydraulics taken care of. You can make a mechanic plus intellect check. Actually, even better than that, you can make an engineering, because lifters are essentially more basic versions of a maneuver drive.
There we go.
You can make an engineering M drive plus intellect or education check.
There we go.
Nice. So you guys are taking this thing apart and getting it fixed. You've got spares. You're replacing the damaged parts. Basically, a lifter is just a metal plate that uses gravity waves, and it danks whatever is the largest body next to it, or in some cases, it retracts towards the nearest body next to it, so you can actually anchor a ship. An M drive is a whole series of those plates, much bigger, that generates enough power that when you're in a solar system, it is actually pushing against the bodies of that solar system. That's why M drives generally start to fail and don't work very well once you get out into deep space. If you're outside the solar system, you're at less than a quarter of the power that you would normally have for an M drive. So that's why you need things such as deep space maneuvering drives. So yeah, you guys are tearing it apart and doing a fairly good job. This guy moves to there, and then arranges. He is going to take a shot. Really not very good at that. Oh well. But he hits Bocephus for 7 points with a laser.
It does not go through my hazardous suit.
Excellent. Mr. Pappy. So you see this thing light off a laser and actually connects with Bocephus, and you see a little wisp of smoke come up off of his suit, but he seems to be okay. What do you want to do?
How far are these hexes?
These are, I believe, 1.5 meters each. Yes. Yes, they are.
Okay.
Evidently it has a hard time. Yeah, they're 1.5 meters.
Okay. I'll fire off a shot with the shotgun.
Okay. Now you have you're using the Intel Security 12 shotgun, right?
Yeah, the Sec 12, yeah.
You could do a burst shot, and so the Sec 12 actually has auto too. So if you were to hit with a burst shot, you could add that. You could add an additional 2 to the damage.
So if I hit, then I can add an additional 2.
Correct.
All right, well, let's see if I hit. Oh, no. I did that.
So 2d6.
Well, you can use a minor action. You didn't move. You can use a minor action to aim and get a +1.
That's true, which would make it an 8.
Yes, I'll do that.
So, on here.
I will aim my burst shot.
So, with an additional 2, that makes it 19.
Does that mean I used the whole magazine when I did a burst, or
3 shots. Or,
so if it
I'm
has a
sorry,
magazine of
I'm
3?
sorry, 2 shots.
Okay, so I still have 1 left in the magazine after that.
Your magazine can either be 3 or 6. It's up to you.
It matter which?
So, let's see, it says... Pump action shotgun chambered for traditional ammo size can be configured with a short barrel and magazine holding 3 shells, or a longer barrel with a 6 shell capacity. The stock can be removed for close quarters operations, but when fitted, it makes a pretty decent club.
So what you're saying is there's no difference between 3 and 6 other than personal choice.
Correct. I mean,
Less
might,
reloads.
yeah, less reloads, and it would, the shorter barrel with a 3-shot magazine would be more useful on a ship because you're moving around narrow corridors.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then I will do that.
Okay.
And you said I add 2 to the damage now?
Yeah, so it's 19 total, and I need...
Did the 8 hit?
An 8 does hit.
Okay.
There we go. That is a pretty solid hit. So you hear Pappy's Sec 12 go pop pop and directly dings this mobile unit, and but it seems like the damage is pretty superficial.
Guys, that didn't do that much.
Josephus, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna aim and shoot at the thing using heap rounds, Gauss sniper rifle.
Okay.
That's 11 to hit.
That is a +3 to your damage.
All right. And let's see, I get 5 damage dice, so my AP round is another +5 plus the 6, so it's AP 11 on this. And then because I'm heap, I get an extra damage dice, 27 AP 11.
That's quite a bit better.
And I will look over at Pappy and be like, heap rounds. It means high impact, or I'm sorry.
High explosive armor piercing.
Yeah, high explosive armor piercing.
So yes, your heap round from your Gauss rifle does hit this, and there is a loud explosion as this heap round goes off, and you see parts of this thing scatter. And if a robot could look pissed off, it looks pissed off, and it's still going.
What are the specs on this thing?
Here, I will allow you.
Scary.
Probably got 100 hit points.
As a matter of fact,
that's exactly what it has. 100.
Here, I will show you. So if you, for Pappy and Mel, if you're wondering when I keep saying that they hit and they get a, like this last time, +3 to damage, the +3 is you needed an 8 to hit, and he got an 11, so that the effect over 8 gets added to the damage. And pretty much 8 is usually, safe bet that 8 is going to be your target number. All right.
Yeah, time to look up Gauss rifle.
There you go.
Hundred units.
Yeah, it's you can't go wrong with a gas rifle. Nice range.
That's just wonderful.
That's fantastic. So,
Holy, I guess right.
at this point, Randolph and Mel, you would hear the both the shotgun and the explosion from the zip and big bang of the Gauss rifle. Randolph, what do you want to do?
Can I see it?
Yeah, I would probably. You poke your head around from under the ship, you can see him.
I wonder if could we
Yeah,
shut
I'm done with the hydraulics, right?
Yes.
if these are truly drones, could we shut them down with electronic countermeasures?
I don't think they're drones. I think they're robots. But that's my
Either way, we
my
in
personal
theory,
opinion.
yeah, in theory we could, but I don't have any of that shit with me.
Yeah. No, I was just curious if there's a way to.
Yeah.
I think what's going on is the Erlons have a secret, and the secret is they were experimenting on autonomous robots and they got loose. And now they're attacking us.
Maybe why they also orbitally bombarded the region to cover it up.
We're gonna find out.
Yep.
So
Okay.
yeah, you can poke your head out from underneath, and you've got a working hydraulic system that it's charging itself. So you can probably take a shot if you like.
I have a Gauss rifle. Am I in range?
The Gauss rifle,
There's 1,000 yards with
600 meters.
It's pretty long.
Yeah, you're in range.
Okay. What's this?
In fact, I would
heat
say,
brown- What's this heat brown stuff? I remember him doing it before, but
Yeah,
I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, he's using special ammo. You can purchase or craft special ammo. His are heap rounds. The ammo is in the Central Supply catalog under, I believe, weapon extents. Oh no, specialized ammunition.
page 180.
Yeah, 176 is where specialized ammo starts.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't remember buying any specialized ammo.
No, you have to craft it in the thing, but I mean, I can make heap rounds.
Okay, I got a regular Gauss rifle. It's AP5 Auto 3 with a scope.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. There's incendiary rounds, neurotoxin rounds, and nuclear rounds.
Okay,
That looks like something out of Fallout.
Yep.
Yeah, in fact,
I aim.
it has. I mean, it's only 22.5 meters away from you. I would say that's probably another +1 to this, so an 11. So you got a +3 to your damage.
Okay, and damage is
It is for a Gauss
4D.
Yes, 40 plus 3.
See, that's another cool thing about the heap is it gives you an extra damage dice. So
And
So he's going to take 4. Oh wait, no.
it's AP5.
Yes, you are correct. So he's going to take 19. There's the signature zip and blue zip crack and a blue streak that goes off and slams into the mobile unit. It is still moving around in a menacing manner. Mel, what would you like to do?
Well, if I'm done there, I've got a range of 50 on mine.
You can definitely hit him.
Well,
I mean, he's 22.5 meters away.
I've got a
roughly.
submachine, a Gauss submachine gun.
Oh yeah.
So you just point and spray the area. It's a good jammy for beginners. If you've ever seen Fear of a Black Hat.
Yeah.
I can't hit the broadside of the barn.
Gauss
So
submachine gun.
is there any way?
Gauss assault gun? No,
No.
Gauss submachine gun. Okay.
Yep. Good jammy for beginners. It's so I'm still learning the combat system here.
Right.
My best use is going to be covering fire for either Bocephus or Pappy to move to a better position for an advantageous shot.
Yeah, what you could do, so you can move with a so your action economy is you get a significant action, which would be something like using a skill or shooting a weapon, something like that. And you get a minor action, which means that you could aim, you can move up to 6 meters. You can find cover, things like that. Alternately, in lieu of taking a significant action, you can take 3 minor actions. So you could move 18 meters without firing your weapon, or you could move 12 meters and duck behind a rock, or something like that. Now, it is possible to do multiple actions with a significant action. For each additional action that you do, it is a -1 added to the next action. So you could say that you moved to here and ducked. Because that would be 2 minor actions. That would be a -1 to if you wanted to duck and then take a shot. You'd be at a -1 for your gun combat.
Okay. So 2 hexes is the minor action, right?
Minor action would be.
I can move 6 meters.
4 hexes, I think.
Yeah, these are 1.5 meters. So what? 4?
4.
Okay. So if I move him, and I'm not sure how the hell to do that.
You should just be able to click on him and drag him wherever you want to go.
And yet that doesn't seem to be working for me. That's moving the whole damn picture.
Hold on. Maybe that might be my.
There we go. Never mind. So if I move to here. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to light him up. I'm not going to hit a goddamn thing, but.
Okay, so hold on. I'm still pulling up laser weapons. That's not what I want.
I actually put it into my sheet. I have auto 4.
There it is. So it has AP3 auto 4. And it does 3D plus 2 damage on a single shot. So you've got 3 options. You can do a single shot. You can do a burst shot, and what burst shot does is, in this case, it would use 4 rounds from your magazine and add 4 to any damage that you do if you hit. The third option is you can go full rock and roll. Now, full rock and roll means that you can hit, in this case, you can hit a number of targets up to your auto score in adjacent hexes within 5 meters. This guy doesn't have any adjacent hexes, so that may not apply. But if you had, let's say that there were 4 of these guys, you could use full auto to spray the entire area, and you would get 4 attacks, essentially, and it would work like doing multiple actions due to muzzle climb. That it would be your initial attack, then the next one is a -1, next one's a -2, next one's a -3, until all of your auto is done.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just burst.
Okay.
So here it goes. This is gonna be fucking awful. This is gonna be. Here it goes. Sweet.
Oh man!
Well, you get -3. What the hell do you do? What are you gonna do?
Well,
Other than potentially shoot Bocephus in the back of the skull.
Gotta try. As Bocephus will say, you gotta try.
Okay, so that was a crit fail.
Did the rifle blow up?
I don't know. roll 2d. Just 2d6. So you fire the gun and it bucks and you're almost scared of it and you let go. And the weapon is dropped, but it is in sight, and it can be recovered on your next round using minor action. Oh, no, on the next round using a significant action, it can be picked up. So it's probably, like, over here.
Fair enough.
Uh,
Fair enough.
But it did get the mobile unit's attention. And the mobile unit... is going to move to there and take a shot at Mel.
Oh, sure. Shoot the guy who missed.
Turn around is fair play.
Oh, look at that. He misses. But it's not a critical miss. This rock gets hit by laser fire as this thing... The laser that's coming out of it is a beam, a solid beam, almost like you would expect from like a laser drill, but not quite that high power. Pappy, what are you doing?
He's pissing his pants.
Well, he's muted, so maybe.
Right. Forgot I was muted. So am I behind this rock for cover, or is this just...
You could duck down and use it as cover. You could duck down and use it as cover using a minor action.
This pissing your pants would be a free action.
Well then,
Right, pissing your pants is a free action.
Yeah.
As is crying.
no.
Crying's always a
I'm
free
gonna
action.
I'm gonna use my shotgun again.
Okay.
I should have at least 2 more bursts available with the 6 rounds in it. So we're gonna do that again and hope that it works. And then the minor action will be to duck behind after I do.
Holy crap. Yeah, you rolled boxcars.
Is that what that 5 is? Does that mean like something extra?
I don't know what the...
Effect.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's your effect. So you actually got
What's effect?
25. So you needed an 8 to hit. A 13 is 5 over, so that 5 gets dumped to damage. It gets added to damage.
Oh, okay.
So this is actually 25 damage. But he had... No, hold on. Let me...
And then the +2 for the burst.
Correct. So 27. And
Okay.
he's got...
I didn't know how to add the +2 to the roll. I wasn't sure where it was going to drop it, so I didn't want to like put +2 and then have it throw it somewhere crazy.
With his armor, he's going to take 21. And Pappy, you see Pappy pop up from this rock and go pop, pop, and then duck down, and you see like one of the legs of this thing gets blown completely off, and now it's kind of hobbling a little bit, still moving around though. Bocephus?
So it's kind of beat up and damaged and stuff.
Oh
right?
yeah, it's severely damaged at this point.
Can I glance a power source and a cable coming from the power source?
You can see all sorts of shit hanging out of the various holes that have been punched through its armor, especially where your heap round hit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see innards and stuff.
Right, but I'm specifically wanting to, if I see what I think is a power source, I want to try to pull the plug on the power. So that's why I'm asking if I see what I think is a power source and all of that.
Yeah, I would say that you have an idea of where a power source. Do you have robotics as a skill, don't you?
Yes.
Go ahead and make a robotics plus intellect or education check.
My robotics
This is an Aryan bot.
That's an 11.
Yes, you see what you think is its battery or power source.
Well, then I want to use telekinesis to yank the battery cable off the power source.
Damn it! I thought I was hoping you were going to go for something
Nice.
more dramatic.
I don't know. The force is pretty dramatic.
Yeah, go ahead and use the force, Luke.
Well, that's not going to get it because I needed an 8 and I rolled shit. So
you see some of this wiring harness bundle kind of get pulled out of one of these holes and is kind of drooping out, but the unit is still moving. Randolph, what would you like to do?
With my minor action, I want to toss Pappy my my gauze rifle.
Okay.
My gauze sniper rifle.
I was gonna say for Pappy using the shotgun, and if you guys are wanting to go, if you're facing Deepnight Entity, Fungus Among Us, you might consider hooking him up with incendiary rounds. Have you ever seen a dragon's breath shell come out of a shotgun?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
I've used my significant action, but with my minor action, I just want to toss my gal's sniper rifle to Pappy and be like, "Hit this bitch with this."
Okay, so Pappy.
Okay, what is
gun.
the stats on that thing?
So Pappy.
It's got.
Pappy,
go ahead.
make a athletics dex. So 2d plus your athletics dexterity plus your dexterity. If you don't have athletics dexterity, then it's just 2d plus your dex.
I do not have athletics, so 2d plus dex. Did I catch it?
He taught. I mean, you're only talking about 1.5 meters. Yeah, a 6. I would say this is a pretty routine check. You only need a 6 to catch it. He tosses you this Gauss sniper rifle. The Gauss sniper rifle.
It does 5d damage, but the heap round does an extra d, and then it has an armor of armor piercing naturally with the rifle has 6, but these AP rounds put another 5, so you'll have an 11 AP and 6d damage when you hit it.
So another trait for these weapons you'll see, like, and this is a perfect example. The Gauss sniper rifle comes with the trait of scope. So if you are firing, it doesn't matter how long the range on a weapon is. If it does not have a scope, if you have not added one, you can't hit anything beyond 100 meters. It's very unlikely you're going to have such a massive detriment that you might as well not even try.
Hell, I can hit things at 300 yards with my eyes.
Right, yeah.
And I have.
I have absolutely used my iron to shoot longer than
With an M1 Garand.
With a scope, you do not. That does not apply. You can hit almost anywhere. I mean, to a reasonable range. So, I also allow aiming with a scope because that just kind of makes sense. Randolph.
I aim.
You aim. So you get a
I
+1.
fire. And I miss.
And you miss. Damn it. Yeah, so
I tried.
You
And
zip
for my
up.
minor action, I moved to here.
So aiming was your minor action.
Oh, okay.
Mel. Your significant action would have to be to you'd have to move and pick up your rifle.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. I don't know where it is on the map. So.
It would be like right over here.
Oh, sure. I'll just stand in the fire to get it.
Right, you know.
All right.
I would assume you guys hooked him up with hazardous.
Everybody should have hazardous vac suits.
I was going to say you probably
Our
have.
crew runs that way.
Yeah, you're
I
probably.
mean, we're in a meteorite fallout zone. I would imagine we would.
Right. Which would be right here. This is probably what you're wearing.
Oh, it makes more sense than the Protect suit I have on my sheet.
Yes, this would probably be what. I mean, they keep at least one of these per crew member on, or regular crew member on the Destinex, because of the plus 15 protection. I would think that this would classify as a hazardous environment or hostile environment.
We are a hostile environment.
Right? It does say... I guess not. But they've got, damage control equipment and things like that built into the suit. That would make sense. So Mel's picking up his submachine gun. Mobile unit is going to take a shot at Pappy. So this is how cover works. So Pappy is ducked down behind a rock. The closest thing I've got for cover bonus here would be a stone wall, which kind of counts. That gives him a plus 8 to his protection. So even if this guy hits, it has to get through the rock and then get through his armor in order to do any damage. He's going to take a shot anyways because he is a stupid robot. It doesn't matter because he misses anyways. He hits this rock, and it's the wrong rock, and I don't know. He's the special robot. Pappy, what are you doing?
I mean, I guess I'll fire with that rifle. I'll definitely need to figure out. He said a bunch of stats real quick to me, and I was like,
So
yeah.
So
stats.
you have if you're not going to move, you could take a minor action to aim, which will give you a plus 1. And then the Gauss sniper rifle has a range of 1,000 meters.
I think I can hit.
What's the AP with the heap?
If you're within 1/5 of that range, I think you get a bonus, right?
Yeah, you get a so you also get another plus 1 because you're at short range.
So
The heap,
AP 12.
The heap gives you an armor piercing equal to the number of your damage dice before the bonus dice is added. So he gets 5. He gets another 5 to his armor piercing.
So
and that
you said that's 5d6 then?
6.
Okay.
And then
5d6?
No, it's 6d6.
Right, if you hit.
Yeah.
6d6.
Yeah. Just hit the motherfucker and great things happen.
So is the heap AP added to the AP of the Gauss rifle?
Correct. They stack.
So it would have an AP of 11 then.
Right.
I gotcha. So yeah, so you would roll gun combat slug plus dexterity.
Okay.
Plus 2.
Let's
Because
gun combat slug. Gun combat slug. Got it. And then you said plus what?
Plus 2. 1 for aiming and
plus
1 for
2.
short range.
2. Submit.
That is a hit with a plus 2 to damage. So roll 66 plus 2.
66 plus 2. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Things go
D6 plus 2.
Okay. So
with AP 11, that's the equivalent of 34.
That is more than enough, and you hit this mobile unit, and it punches a hole. You see some internal detonations, and this mobile unit just kind of collapses where it's standing. It's mostly appears to be in one piece. It's of course missing a leg.
It's this giant hole.
Yeah, it's filled with holes, but yeah, the outer shell's still mostly intact.
Okay.
What are you guys doing?
I'm running to that building to see if there's lives that I can save.
Okay.
I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor, damn it. What is Pappy?
I'm just an old country doctor, damn it.
Is Pappy following Bocephus?
I will follow him and hand him back his rifle as we go.
Okay.
Oh, that's your rifle now, Pappy. Write that shit down and keep track of it.
Okay, then.
I'll print up another one when I get back to the deep night.
What
No
about-
pilot of mine can run around with some bullshit pea shooter. You gotta kill
I'm
things.
telling you, Phil, load the shotgun with incendiary rounds.
Oh, I hear you.
I mean, you could theoretically load the shotgun with heap rounds, too. That would be
Yeah.
terrifying. Basically turn it into a grenade launcher. What is Mel doing?
Well, if it's down, I'll go with Bocephus to make sure he doesn't get, just so I can spray the area and not do a damn thing, as he goes and checks for survivors.
Okay, so put you like here. And what about Randolph?
What am I going to do?
Are you going with them, or are you staying with the ship, or are you checking out the carcass of the mobile unit?
Yeah, I'm going to go see the mobile unit.
Okay.
Take that motherfucker with us.
Randolph, you can make a. Do you have robotics? Probably not. Maybe?
I have
Science
computer
robotics.
and remote at 1.
Go ahead and make a mechanic. Go ahead and make a computer. Electronics computers plus either intellect or education. Your choice.
I have no education nor entail.
I didn't get no schooling. So.
And I get a 9.
So a 9 is a success. So you are. Do you have anything like a mobile computer or? Well, you have your mobile comm that you would have in the ship. So yes, you have something. You kind of plug into this thing with your wristwatch mobile comm. And it is bringing up a whole slew of what is obviously obvious to you corrupted data, and it immediately looks to you like this data was corrupted before it got shot. This was before any damage you guys did to it.
Oh, they tried to make an AI and they corrupted their shit.
You
And
are
it fucked
seeing.
'em.
You are seeing. Not necessarily true artificial intelligence, but you are seeing code in the binary that looks like rudimentary
Autonomous.
AI. A bunch of if-then statements.
Right.
Okay. So I'm thinking this is a robot, not a drone.
Well, maybe we should take it and see if we can study it and determine weaknesses.
And we
Maybe-
can show it to our Erlon buddies and see how pale they get.
Just walk in and dump it on the briefing table.
Yeah.
What do you know about this?
You guys suck. When our military gets here, you guys will be eradicated.
So, you guys get over to this this burning colony shelter, and you kind of, the three of you move some rubble aside, and with your search and rescue gear on your hostile environment suits, and you see kind of in like a root cellar kind of set up. You see that there are 4 terribly injured Tenepal down here. 3 of them are barely conscious. You're talking, broken ribs, arms, legs, clavicle, One of them is up and about. But, I mean, he's got like a broken arm, but the other 3 are laid out and barely conscious.
Well, then I'm going to take my my TL14 med kit and try to perform. I'm going to try to perform first aid
Okay.
on one of the ones that look like they're laid out. If there's males and females, I'm gonna do the female first. There's multiple females. The one with the biggest tits.
Go-
They look kind of flat to me.
It's the Kirk approach.
So
Yeah.
go ahead. You're going to get 2 checks. The first,
Okay.
make your first medic plus intellect or education check
All
with
right.
your bonuses for your med kit.
So this should give me like +7 total. So 15.
Okay, so you kind of scan these guys, and of course they are, of course, alien to you. I mean, Pappy knows them inside and out. Ha ha ha! Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But you determine that one of them, it's not really going to matter what you do. They're not going to make it. The other 2 are pretty badly injured, but you think you could probably perform first aid and get somewhere with them. Whereas the third one, unless you had a surgical theater, they're probably, and even then they're probably done for. And
All
you're
right,
talking about triage.
Yeah. The one that is going to die anyway, I'm going to tell Pappy to get in there and patch him up, and then I'm going to try on the other. Or I'll tell Mel. Mel's there. You know, I'll be like,
Yeah.
Mel, pitch that one up. That one's the worst one, so I'm giving it to you. Practice. And you know,
Practice.
and really what I'm telling you is to kill that motherfucker because it's dying and it's just in misery. And then I'm gonna try to first aid the other 2.
Okay, so Bocephus, go ahead and make a medic plus intellect or education check, plus your bonuses for your med kit. Holy
That's an
shit.
18.
Yeah, so you are able to get the first one patched up enough that they are stable. They are still going to need the sick bay on the ship, but you at least got them stable enough to move.
Cool.
Mel, you can make a medic plus intellect or education check. Your choice, either intellect or education. And I'm sure that. Wow.
He's fine.
Wow. And so I would
He's
imagine.
fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
I would imagine Mel probably has a med kit. Medical care. And
I didn't know you had the skill, man. That's cool as shit.
Right?
I do.
Yeah.
Apparently, working in the Merchant Marine, you get all kinds of random skills.
Yeah. Well, it's paying off, maybe. Or maybe you're killing this motherfucker softly. I don't know.
So, I mean, 11 plus 3. Yeah, he actually gets this one that was, you know, that Bocephus had put a red X on his forehead. Mel's actually able to get him somewhat stabilized. Your medkit is telling you that he has multiple lacerations internally, and he's got internal bleeding, so he is going to need surgery. Pappy, do you have any medic skill?
I do not believe so, but let's check. Hey, look at that! I do.
Oh, you can fucking do it. Patch him up.
Do you
I
want
have a
so
0
Pappy?
in
Do you
medic.
want to patch up one of the ones that is semi-conscious, or the one that is up and moving around with the busted arm?
Thing is, I just have a 0. I'll go for the busted arm.
Okay. Go ahead and make a medic plus. So medic plus intellect or education, and you get to add +3 to that because you would have advanced med kits that are tech level 14.
Oh, I should put intellect because I have intellect. Okay, so medic plus intellect. And then you said a +3.
Correct.
Well, then I feel good about this.
I tried to fix his arm and it came off. So, So Pappy shoots him with a dose of painkiller and says, "Hold still. This is going to sound terrible." And crack, and he resets his arm and gets him set up in a gel splint, and and now this guy's, wow, that feels a lot better, and his eyelids are kind of drooping from the pain med.
Do you want your treats?
So, Bocephus, you get one more medic plus intellect or education check.
That's a
Okay.
16.
So
yeah.
you've got so all three of the unconscious ones can be moved back to the ship, of course, gently, and you can get them back to Deepnight Revelation.
Yeah, we need to get them there, and we need to get operation going as soon as possible.
Okay, so we will pick this up next week with starting with Sarta and some of his discussions with the correct point of contact and his delegation, having concluded their brief tour of Revelation. And we can move forward from there, and he can make a decision on, how he wants to introduce the Sovereigndoms to the Erline worlds and the Tenepal, and hopefully not start a big World War III in the briefing room.
Right.
You guys did really well. I am going to say everybody gets one. Everybody gets two on here.
I'm rapidly approaching cap.
Everybody gets 2 XP points, and this is how you can spend those.
I think I'm going to save it to raise something higher.
You can do. I will allow you to do that.
I'm going to raise gun combat slug from 1 to 2.
4 is the maximum.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, I've got a lot of skills that are 0 and 1. That's a lot of them.
You can have as many 0 skills as you want.
Right.
That doesn't count towards your maximum. So.
But I think I only have 2 skills that are above 1. So I'm looking at.
So if I do not have the gun combat skill, I would spend 1 to get it to 0.
Correct.
And 1 to get it to 1.
Correct.
If I wanted to not be utterly fucking useless at combat.
So what you would want to do is you'd spend 1 XP point to get gun combat at 0. Then you would spend 1 XP point, and I would recommend taking gun combat slug because you're using a submachine gun.
Okay.
I'm taking gun combat to 2.
There you go.
I'm going to raise remote. Actually, I am raising remote ops because it's at 1. I want to bring it to 2.
That's a fantastic idea. Remote ops is one of those skills that everybody, including myself, forgets about, and then you realize, wait a minute, I'm in a futuristic space campaign. That's probably kind of important.
Yeah.
What's remote ops?
Drones.
Operating things like drones would be used for operating like an external crane or a boom that's attached to a ship for grabbing something. Things like that.
How the hell is that on here?
It's under electronics.
Yeah, it's
electronics.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a specialty skill.
I'm
It was
gonna
fun. See you tomorrow next week.
later. I'm gonna raise my telepathy from 1 to 2.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep. Going straight psionic
Yeah.
Jedi.
The Jedi medic.
Jedi Dolphin Medic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Dolphin Jedi.
What's the difference between flyer and pilot?
Flyer would be for gravity vehicles.
Wait,
In atmosphere versus out of atmosphere.
Right.
Like
So,
you
like,
could get
flyer
air rafts
assault.
and shit.
You were doing what you were doing?
Flyers are like airplanes, dirigibles, helicopters,
Doesn't
hang gliders.
air raft fall into that?
Air raft, I believe, is a grav vehicle. Yeah,
Maybe. Let me see.
I believe it's a specialty. It's fly or grav.
I think you're right.
And same thing with grav belts.
It says, yep. skill for air rafts is flyer grav, so that would be extremely useful
Yeah.
because you
So
guys do have a number of air rafts.
And so that's the difference between those two skills: is flyer is within atmosphere, pilot is out of atmosphere.
So should I as the designated pilot of the group? Should I get the flyer one?
I'm not saying you should. I don't have the skill personally.
I mean, I totally like you driving things, though. You know, you've got a shiny new rifle.
I can show. So these are the standard air rafts.
One of my players decided to specialize in dirigible, and so I gave him one at character creation. He started with his own dirigible.
These are the standard
That's
air
cool.
rafts. The Vendara is what's aboard, available to you aboard Deepnight. Basically, it can convert from a flatbed pickup to essentially what is a grav-based ATV, really, a mobile home.
That's very useful. We can start taking them, especially when we get on planets that we're trying to.
Well, and the standard in the cargo hold is Randolph's Jeep, his Gecko ATV.
We probably have enough room for 4 more cargo space for an air raft.
I don't know.
It's 4 or 6. I can't remember which.
This shipping weight of 4.5 tons, and the Scout has 17 cargo. So yeah, you could probably fit another one in there. What's the Vendara's shipping weight? Shipping weight 12 tons. These things are pretty big.
In the other game, I did decide to take Seacraft, and my crew would not agree to allow me to store a jet ski on our ship.
Oh, shit.
They claimed they needed every ton of cargo space. I'm like, all right, well, that jet ski.
Yeah,
cool.
I don't agree with that.
So if I spend the 2 points, so 1 gets me the skill.
Yeah.
2 gets me a single point. I can't buy the specialty, right? For slug until I get 2.
That's not how specialties work. You actually spend 1 when you spend 0. The first point gives you 0 in the broad skill.
Right.
Okay.
And then your second point is you're spending it on one of those specialties.
Right. So
when you have 1 point in something with a specialty, you have 0 in everything else. You have 1 point.
Correct.
In whatever the specialty.
You would
is.
have gun combat 0 for everything else. So gun combat 0 at energy, gun combat 0 archaic, but then you would have gun combat 1 for slug weapons.
Okay, so then I would reduce my gun combat skill to 0.
So in the character sheet, on the character sheet, what you'll see is that little plus, the red plus.
Yep.
And so with your gun combat, you should not have anything in the skill rank level for the gun combat itself. It should say 0.
Right.
When you hit that plus, under specializations, you'll want to add 1 and put in slug and level 1. And so that'll show that all gun combat is 0, but slug is 1.
Okay, so I was trying to figure out how that. I figured that total should not be 2, right? So
well, the total has to do with your dex bonus, right? Assuming you've got gun combat defaulting to dexterity, which it should be.
Right.
But the game is set up that you could hypothetically pick any skill in your drop down.
Yeah, if you are modifying or repairing a weapon, then you might use gun combat, slug plus intellect or education.
Right. But it should be default to dexterity. So if it says 2, it's probably because you're getting 1 from the your dexterity bonus, and then 1 from your skill rank.
No, I had 1 under gun combat.
Oh yeah. You should.
So it gave me 2, and I'm like, that can't be right. So
this
0.
character sheet shouldn't allow you to put anything in under the top level. They should all be 0. Yeah. Anything that has that red plus on the right side, you should not be able to put anything higher than 0 in the skill level. They should all be broken into the specializations.
I'm gonna go. Y'all have a great night.
All right, have a good one. I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not the most intuitive character sheet, although in all honesty, this is far better. The Pathfinder one does everything you'd ever need it to do, but it is the least intuitive, most convoluted character sheet ever. So
Yeah, when I was prepping for working on the Paranoia game, I was shocked. The character sheet in Roll20 is exactly the same as the character sheet that you photocopy out of the book. Like, it works exactly the same. I was like, oh my god, this is so nice.
it's a very simple game system, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, this is really nice. This works exactly the way it's supposed to.
I'd love to join you, but Wednesday nights I've got another game. So
yeah, Wednesdays can be tough, but
I'm in way too many campaigns. I'm currently in 5.
Right. Yeah. Well, Well, luckily this will be a series of one-offs.
Yeah.
Whenever I need, to a palate cleanser for my brain, well, we'll just run a Paranoia game. They're ridiculously stupid.
I'm currently.
Would I ever need navigation? By the way.
Yeah, but it's
I have astrogation.
Right, so navigation has to do with being on a planet and finding your way around versus finding your way around a solar system.
I guess then, because we tend to be down on planets.
For an exploration game, navigation could be fairly useful.
It's the Mongoose Traveler really changes the expectations of players. Earlier editions of Traveler, it was not at all uncommon to start without anyone having a ship,
right,
and being stuck on planet. And there was a lot of planetary adventures without ever leaving the planet.
Yes,
it wasn't really until the Mongoose edition where that became the expected norm, is that everybody's going to have a ship flying around.
Yeah. Well, and even so, before in the classic, it was more likely that if you were jumping around, you were paying for passage on somebody else's ship.
Right. I mean, that's
a liner or a tramp freighter or whatever.
It's the initial inspiration for the game came from that series of books where that's exactly what he's doing, is he's jumping around from system to system.
Right.
So I did a whole bunch of research.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to figure out like how big an asteroid full of ice could we go through the Earth's atmosphere without causing a huge crater. And so like 140 meter diameter is about it. And so then I figured out how many tons of ice that is, and or how many gallons of ice it is, and it is just it's just not enough. And so I think it's, let's see here, 379,000 gallons of water. And honestly, the Cal Fire alone has used 6.7 million gallons of water just fighting the 2021 fire.
But if you found a water source on the planet, you guys could do cloud seeding.
The big thing is that cloud seeding is kind of from a planetary perspective, cloud seeding is robbing Peter to pay Paul.
True.
You're basically pulling that water from somewhere else. And so I was thinking that they may need water injected into the atmosphere, that rather than just cloud seeding and hoping that the water comes from somewhere else. And so that's what I was thinking about, the idea that maybe if we just atmospherically bombard them with asteroids full of ice, that will explode in the atmosphere and not, maybe that would make a difference. And so I was sort of playing around with that, but it's just, you start looking at the numbers, you're going, if you get any bigger than that, you're going to be causing a crater and massive,
right. The atmosphere is not going to burn it up enough to.
You don't want to be bombarding them with ice, bombs.
Right.
So if they were any bigger, that's what you run into when you actually look at the amount of water involved. The only way that would be practical is if you could just shoot hundreds of these at the planet. It's just not anywhere near enough water compared to, like I say, even just California's fire use. They use 6.7 million gallons of water, which would be, you're talking about, that's about 20 asteroids worth of water.
20 to 25 asteroids, just to dose California.
Yeah, so it's a fun idea, but looking it up, it's just not practical. So we'll see if the scientists come up with some other solution. That sounds great.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Well, we will pick this up next.
I don't know where to put the stats.
Wait a minute.
Wait. What's stats for what?
I don't know where to put these 2 points.
Oh, skill. You don't have to do it immediately, but if you think about it, what I often do is, if I'm not sure, is I think about what I've been doing lately. and go, did I come into contact with a skill I don't really have in what I was doing lately? So like recently we just started coming into contact with this alien race that's really, really big on drone operation. And so I'm sitting around, well, I'm going to be really studying up on drone operation because that's sort of what they're known for.
So yeah,
that's what I'll kind of do oftentimes when I'm not 100% sure.
yeah. I mean, you've got a week to think about it. You can just mark down a note that you've got 2 points that you can spend.
There's also 2 skills that are really hard to get at character creation that if you don't have might be worth picking up, and that would be recon and investigation.
Yes.
So if you don't have those are really nice.
So recon and investigation are the spot and search of Traveler. Recon is your spot check. And investigation is if you're rummaging around a room or trying to find a particular piece of information or a particular item, you're going through all the drawers, you're going through the dead guy's pockets. That's where investigation comes in.
And
I have recon, but I can take investigate, get it to 0, and then maybe throw the other point in it.
It honestly hasn't come up a lot in this campaign, but it's just one of those skills that can be annoying because it's just hard to get at character creation. There's very few careers that grant you access to that.
And when you need it and don't have it, it is a serious problem.
Right. Whereas recon, Chris is calling for recon rolls.
I throw recon checks at you guys all the time.
So if you weren't proficient in that, I would definitely suggest that being a good option.
I have recon +1. I actually have a 1 in recon.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome. All right, I'm going to take off.
Well, then we will see you guys next week at 7 o'clock on Friday night.
Talk to you later.
Great.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you. You too, man.